I'm a former prosecutor by profession. I've seen some stuff that I think you'd be pretty amazed by, as people say. Amazed. And I thought I've heard of everything, seen everything. I understand that theft and larceny are parts of our society. But when I'm hearing that this Canada Goose thing, remember when these people, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everybody's got this Canada Goose thing. You notice that? It's Canada Goose, right? And I'm not going to wear it because everybody else, yeah, Canada Goose. Everybody's, these things cost, what, $1,000? They're unbelievable. They go, what is this? Where the hell did this come from? All of a sudden, overnight. Okay, fine. I don't care. It's a free country. Do whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me. But in D.C., people are having them snatched at gunpoint. And they're telling them, hey, folks, be careful. Don't wear what? Don't wear your Canada Goose thing. Not your diamond rings, not your watches. Don't wear that. You're being lifted. You're being removed and separated from it at gunpoint. And they're saying, hey, what you should do is maybe put in one of those Apple trackers or something. You got to be kidding me. The answer for this is very simply arming citizens. Now, wait. I'm not going to be one of these typical right-wingers. I'm not right-winger. I'm not. Believe me. I'm not any wing. There's no wing. Legged is a different story. I'm a right-legger. But if the bad guys thought to themselves, we don't really know whom we should bother because they might be armed, we might kind of back off on this. But because you've been disarmed, especially in D.C., and because you have been told, don't protect yourself, notwithstanding Bruin and the Supreme Court in the particular case, we are still and always will be sitting ducks. We are forced to deal with this nonsense. The answer, my friend, is not only blowing in the wind, but it's going to be to arm yourself. And it's going to be to teach a new bevy, a coterie, passels, if you will, groups, units of human beings to understand something. You have the right to protect yourself, and you don't need to ask the government whether you can or cannot. Now, I'm not saying go out and possess firearms. No, I'm not. Please. Don't pin this on me. What we should be able to do is to do all of this without anybody being able to tell us anything. And by the way, when you carry a gun, you understand something. You are really, 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 really asking for it. You got to ask yourself. I've got a friend of mine. This is the biggest Judge Roll. A nice guy, but he said, "Yeah, I got a shotgun." You got a shotgun? Why? Doesn't know how to shoot. Doesn't know when to shoot. Doesn't know. Do you understand the law regarding it? You understand how you can only match deadly force with deadly force? That if you were to use deadly force, you can't do it because you're afraid or frightened. So I'm telling you, if you ever want to do this, you better know what you're doing. And if you've got a firearm, if you've got a pistol or revolver, and you miss, and somebody gets hit by that bullet, you, my friend, transferred intent, you're it. Okay, it's called negligence. And if you have a gun around your house and some kid gets into it and blows his head off, it's you. They're going to put you under the prison. That notwithstanding. The Second Amendment is there, and Heller and others pretty much said it. It's your right. And let me tell you something. If you started reading newspaper accounts or hearing about newspaper accounts where some bastard that went to separate somebody from their Canada Goose had his head blown off and was hailed as a hero, that information gets out too. Because let me ask you something. How long do you want to keep playing this martyr? How long do you want to be a victim? How long do you want to keep putting up with this nonsense? Do you think this is funny? Do you think this is okay? Does this make sense to you? What's the matter with you? What is the matter with you? What is it going to take? Now, I don't care whether you're black, white, gay, straight, LGBTQIA, two-spirit, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't care who you are. Law and order is going to be the issue for the next election. And I'm sick and tired of having to sit back and say, oh, they cut the police force in my town. Oh, all these officers are retiring. Oh. I want militias. Second Amendment expressly provides for that. I want people driving around communities to be citizens on their own, not necessarily asking permission, but saying we're going to protect ourselves. We're not going to call the police. We're going to do this. We don't. Where did you ever get the idea that you had to ask permission to protect yourself? What kind of a mentality are we living in? And I've got to read this. I've got to read this stupid account from D.C. of somebody who tells me all of a sudden, oh, by the way, you might want to be careful. Hey, put a little geotag in there in case you want to get what? And what are you going to do? Go find it? You're going to reintroduce yourself? What are you going to do? Hey, I know where. I mean, this is nuts. Remember the carjackings? And now that juicy smell it finally is going back to the pokey. After what? After he thumbed his nose at society? Let me tell you something. There is no law and order in this world. And let me also tell you something. You better hope to God I never get to be president, because if I do, I'm gonna unleash a can of juridical whoop-ass, the likes of which you have never seen before. I'm gonna make a Cesare More ask your parents. Remember him? Remember him during Mussolini's age? Oh yeah. Rizzo in Philly, Giuliani, New York. I'm serious. Americans are begging for law and order, begging for an enforcement of the broken windows doctrine. We're ready for this. And the very fact that I've got to hear of some stupid debate, or hear of a stupid, I didn't watch it, on Fox News between Gavin Newsom and that other guy, and the other guy holds up some kind of grid about some poop grid. Find your poop in Humany Gesta, mounds o' shite in that city by the bay. What are you, nuts? What's going on here? What happened to my country? I don't get it. How did we let it get this way? You know why? Through habituation, conditioning, and the idea that you've got no say in this. Well, it all starts with your own protection. It all starts with the ability for you to say no. And I'm taking ownership of my life and my family and my neighborhood and my block and my city. This is ridiculous. You know, years ago, there was something called the Guardian Angels. I know, it was at the time it was good. Now it's like 4 guys who are in retirement, run by Curtis Lewa, who's the generalissimo of an imaginary group of urban commandos. But there was a time when people said, no, we're going to do this. And I wish there would be these people walking around and say, take my jacket. Come on, take it. I dare you. Set decoys. All of a sudden have citizens come up. I'm not advocating vigilantism or anything like that. What I'm doing is I want you to understand that you don't have to ask permission from anybody to protect you and your family and your city and your neighborhood. Does that make sense? You don't have to put geotags in your jacket. I've had it. Now, if this is right wing, okay, call me right winger. But I know one thing: you agree with me 100%. You are sick and tired. And where the hell is Trump right now? Do me a favor. Quit talking about your damn trial and come on and explain to the world what you're going to do and how you're going to revamp the FBI and the DOJ and how we're going to not make America great again, but take our cities back and take law and order back. Capiche? Okay, do me a favor. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment as you see fit.